Listen to the entire podcast on Spotify and Google Podcast. Link is provided in the description.
Nonetheless, I hope you do the breakthrough moment, and then there are many other
Absolutely.
girls and even boys look up to that. Like, okay, this is a new sport, and it looks so sexy, as you said. It looks like an astronaut costume. You just look into that and get and have
Yes.
that warrior kind of feel initially if it helps you get into that sport. So I'm going to take back to the moment where you said about that traumatic experience in your life, like when that quarterfinals of your world championship, when you lost. I consider that has been one of the roller coaster moments in your life. So how did you deal with it? What exactly did you do for those 6 to 7 months when you were like at the lowest period of your life?
Um, I think I was in school and I took help of a counselor, and I'm very vocal about it.
Mm.
And I'm very thankful to my school for having a counselor because that's not very common here, and it
Mm.
should be to have school counselors. So I had no idea what psychology is, what counseling is. I just heard there's this counselor who listens to people and who's working for the special needs of children. There are students who have special needs, dyslexic students or students who are a little slow. I think, and that's very beautiful and very kind of my school to do it. So I just went and barged into the room, literally barged into the room, and I, you know what, I have problems, I want to talk about it.
Mm.
So, and I just had no idea how counseling goes, what happens there, and everything. So I took multiple sessions over there. Like once a week, I used to meet during the school hours only. She being very kind, she helped me all through that, and with a little self awareness I had, I knew that this thing is going to work out because not because I've seen people doing it, because मुझे पता नहीं था कि counseling क्या क्या होती है, clinical क्या होता है, ये सब क्या होता है. No,
Mm.
I just thought that counselor है, ऐसे बच्चों की help कर रहा है, and they're doing well. I had multiple classmates who had special needs, and they're doing so well. I thought that मेरे को भी तो special need है ना इस time पे कि I
Mm.
want to talk to somebody. And so I did that, and I had to work hard on myself. It's not a one way process. Like the counselor is not going to do everything. I need to work hard as well. So that's what I got to know when I started counseling people, that there
Mm.
should be effort from the other end as well. And I think I was doing it. That's why I'm here today.
Mm.
And I worked really hard and I prioritized. I was not even studying that time. I just was counseling. I took counseling. I just did what I wanted to do in the entire day, gave 3 4 months to it, and I was back on track. As in, I started studying for my board exams, never started fencing again. Then I took
Mm.
a year and a half for me to start fencing, to feel okay with fencing, that let's start it again. So I think that was more of it, and I had this faith that I this is not normal for me, and I don't want to be comfortable in this phase.
Mm.
And I think that's very, very courageous of people to think when they think that, this is not how I feel, this is not normal for me, and this is not what I want to feel. And
Mm.
I want to get out of it. And it's very easy to point people that, you took counseling or you take counseling, it's for the weak and this and that. But, you know, it speaks volumes of the courage that you have, that you're opening up to a stranger, and you know that this is not normal. You want to change it for yourself. Change is very uncomfortable,
Mm.
and it's very easy to settle in that हाँ ठीक है जो चल रहा है चलने दो. That kind of attitude most of the people have, and they are the ones who are pointing at people who go for counseling, who take help, or who do something which is beyond the normal. So I
Mm.
think I've had multiple fingers being pointed at me. I had my friends talking bad things about me. They were like इसको counseling करते कि ये पागल होगी ऐसे 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 करके.
Mm.
I've gone through that also. I've people I've kept at very high pedestal in my life have said such things to me. But I
Mm.
always knew that this is not normal, and it's very easy for them to say what I should be feeling or what I should be doing, but they don't know what I go through, what I went
Mm.
through, and how my days were. So I think that's what everyone should understand, that nobody knows what you go through. Nobody knows how much intensity you feel things at. बिकॉज़ अभी वो बोलेगा कि अच्छा ब्रेकअप ही तो हुआ है या पेपर फेल ही तो हुआ है। हर एक की फ़ील करने की इंटेंसिटी डिफरेंट है, हर एक की परसीव करने का तरीका अलग है। आपको कोई चीज़ बहुत बुरी लग सकती है, मुझे शायद वो ओके-ओके लगे, बट दैट
Mm.
डज़ नॉट मीन दैट इट डज़न्ट होल्ड वैल्यू। So I think that's very important, and I had faith in myself that this is not what I want for myself. This is not how I look at myself. I never used to hate myself, but I was not liking myself back then.
That is because
Like
I
this
think
is not Chhavi.
you are self-aware, right? Like you are not feeling good. Like a lot of the people are aware that they are not feeling good, but they'll be like, "Chhod do na, we'll go do something." They'll get into certain activities just to momentarily get away from those kind of activities to not feel those
Correct.
negative emotions. So, one thing I really like about you is like, when in spite of everybody telling like कि तू पागल हो गई है, why are you doing this? And I feel most of the people still do that in India whenever you go to a counselor or a therapist. But I think it's very important, in spite of people pointing out fingers at you, Chavi, you still listen to your inner voice because you know that you were feeling terrible, you were feeling negative, you were not feeling good. So I
Right.
feel there are a lot of people who are listening to this episode are going through the same journey where they know deep down that they are not feeling good. They want to get out of that and they want to take help. But the only reason that they are stopping themselves from taking help is because कि मैं लोगों को क्या बताऊँ कि मैं काउंसलर के पास जा रही हूँ या फिर मैं एक थेरेपिस्ट के पास जा रही हूँ. People are
Right.
scared.
Definitely. I wanted to share this one more experience
Hmm.
with you. So I turned into a TEDx speaker back in 2019. I went to Aurangabad for this TEDx event, and I took just 1 second to decide what I have to talk about. It was mental health.
Hmm.
Simple. It was mental health. And I knew that it's going to be cliche. I knew everyone's going to talk about it, or everyone does talk about it. But I didn't want it to be fake. I didn't want it to be very Instagram mainstream thing that mental health counts and you do this and you just don't. I know what lies behind influence. I'm sorry to say there are people who are doing really good job at influencing others, but there are people who are just saying things for the heck of saying.
They're not
So
authentic.
it doesn't help anyone, not authentic. And uh, you kind of can relate to somebody when the person is authentic. So I
Hmm.
choose to spoke about my journey so that people are able to relate to me at a very personal level. So this is not something which I just learned off the internet. See, I can't speak about the things like how to dress up, or how what matches with what, where should I buy my clothes from, and this that. People are good at it.
Hmm.
Good. People are good at deciding these things. People are good at wearing clothes and showing it to people and confident enough to wear those in the streets and everything. Beautiful for them.
Hmm.
I am not. I'm not going to speak about it. I'm not going to fake about it that I'm very good at it. So I
Hmm.
spoke about it then, and you know what, Meghna, ma'am? Only thing in my mind was that even if one person in the audience understands what I have to say, my job is done.
Hmm.
So I was the youngest one over there. I was the last speaker, and the speakers were brilliant. God bless them. They were brilliant. There was one lady who spoke about illegal prostitution and how little girls are being forced into it and how her husband passed away. So I
Hmm.
knew that I was no match of hers, and I was not even there to compete. I just wanted to keep my message in front of the students over there who were much elder to me. So I told them about this, and you won't believe it. After the event, I had almost half of the audience. I got the standing ovation. Good. I thought maybe I just spoke well. I speak loudly and more like a Punjabi, and people listen to me.
More
So not
energetic.
that,
More
more
energetic.
energetic. Yes, definitely. So I think probably that's why they stood up, or maybe I was genuinely nice. I have no idea. But people turned up to me, and boys. There were few boys who came up and held my hand, and it was not something which was,
Hmm.
something I wanted to step back from, because girls have this sixth sense. We know what kind of a touch it is. They came, and this was one guy who held my hand, and he started crying. I had his tears in my palm. It was a very overwhelming experience. He said that thank you, आपने मुझे बता दिया, मैं तो बात करूंगा काउंसलर से जाके, कि मुझे तो लगता है कि मेरे पास तो कोई मतलब था ही नहीं मेरी बात समझने के लिए, आपने इस मंच पे आके ऐसी बात बोल दी है. So,
Hmm.
and I got this girl, she came up and told me that मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा था मैं कैसे ये स्टेप लूं कि मैं काउंसलिंग कराना चाहती हूँ, मैं साइकाइट्रिस्ट को मिलना चाहती हूँ, मैं साइकोलॉजिस्ट को मिलना चाहती हूँ. एक एक बहुत ही ओल्ड टीचर आके ने मुझे ये बात बोली. So I think that my job is done. कि एक को
Hmm.
भी समझ में आ गई बात, तो एक नहीं काफियों को समझ में आई ये बात. एंड इट्स ब्यूटीफुल टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट
Hmm.
ये मेंटल हेल्थ या आपका वेल बीइंग कितना ज्यादा जरूरी है. एंड वी आर रनिंग आफ्टर थिंग्स, रनिंग आफ्टर एंड आफ्टर थिंग्स, एंड नॉट रियलाइजिंग व्हाट इट्स कॉस्टिंग आवर हेल्थ.